Now we're going to make a measuring tape to put in our basket. So I've just got regular yellow, and I'm just going to roll a very long, flat, I'm going to roll a snake and then I'm going to roll it out flat. So I've got a nice long snake, and you can see I'm just rolling it flat here like this. Pretty long, as long as my arms can reach. That's about as long as my arms can reach. So we're going to cut it like this, and then I'm going to take my pizza cutter and try to get it a little bit straight. And I'm going to cut up one side to get a straight side. And again, you can measure, but as I think I've mentioned before, I don't like to measure. I just do it. So I'm going to eyeball it, and I want to keep it about the same width all the way down. Oh, see, I can already tell I'm going a little big there, so I'm going to stop and then continue down to my end. There we go. Oops. Sorry about that. All right, so there's my measuring tape, and I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to roll it like this because I want it to be a measuring tape that's rolled up, except for part of it that's not rolled up. So there we go. So I've got all this extra measuring tape. So I'm going to roll a little bit more, and now I'm going to place it in my basket. So I think by looking at it, where do I want to place it? It always goes, you know, this is the type of decoration you add to hide certain parts of it, but I think I have a lot of space here, but I've got a lot of yarn here, so I'm going to pull a few pieces of yarn away so I have a nice spot to put it, because I've kind of put an abundance of yarn here. So let's put this yarn kind of back up over. And now I'm going to take it. I'm not going to cut it yet because I want to see where I'm going to place it. So I'm going to place it like this. And I'm going to have it hanging just like that. And now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut the end off right across my finger. There. And now we have our measuring tape that we're just laying in there like that. Now, a measuring tape has to have measure marks on it. I'm going to readjust it just a little bit so it's all facing the same direction. There we go. So now that I've got it laying where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and paint my little measuring marks on it. So let me go get my paint and we'll take care of that. So I've got a little bit of black Americolor gel, and I've got a little bit of vodka, and I'm just going to put a tiny drop of vodka in there because I want this to be pretty thick. I don't want it to be thin. So I'm taking my brush and I am just going to freehand this. I'm going to put my little tick marks and my little inch markers. So I'm going to start with what I think is about 1 inch, and I'm just going to put a line there, a thick line. I'm going to go about another inch and a thick line, and another inch and a thick line. And I'm going to go up for this one so I don't touch my yarn. And I'm just eyeballing these like this. And then this one will be my last one because the rest go up inside the roll. So that's why I kind of did it on the inside so I don't have to put it on the outside of the roll. So that was with the one brush. Now I'm going to get a thinner brush, a very, very fine brush like this, and I'm going to do very fine my little 1/2 inch ticks right between, and those are going to be a little shorter. And again, I used to, when I paint or try to do anything with a steady hand on a cake, I always like to put one hand down and hold that hand in my other hand because it really secures you. And if you can even lean it against your board, that's going to give you that much more stability. So I'm going to put my little ones in here in between like that, and then I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to do just a tiny little one and a tiny little one for my 1/4 inch ticks. But I'm not being exact. Like I said, I haven't measured anything, And you don't really want to paint this before you put it on because you're going to crack it as you try to lay your measuring tape on the cake. You're going to crack the paint, and it's not going to, it can stretch, it can have a lot of different things happen to it, and it's not going to look good. So I like to paint it on afterwards.